Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the 2015 Rewind, where I'm looking at movies that debuted in 2015 and are turning 10 years old in 2025. Last week, I kicked things off with Jurassic World, a big blockbuster film. This week, I continue with another big blockbuster film, and that is Furious 7. This was the seventh film in the Fast franchise. They had an initial one, then two and three kind of saw cast divided up, different kind of stories. They all came back for number four, and that created like a whole brand new trilogy that really took this franchise in a different direction. That kicked off in 2009. We got Fast Five in 2011. We got Fast and Furious 6 in 2013. We knew they were working on this one, and then tragedy struck as Paul Walker passed away actually in 2013. This movie was his final film. They actually finished it by using some of his brothers as stand-ins for some of his sequences. But I will have a little bit more on that as one of the reasons this film stands out for me later. But this one, in terms of action, does a lot of fun things. This introduces Jason Statham's character. This picks up right after the events that should have taken place in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, which is the third film in the franchise. I know that makes it a little bit confusing, but you get a lot of other fun sequences. This introduces Kurt Russell's Mr. Nobody, who is somebody that's become very important. There are some really fun set pieces here. They jump between buildings in Dubai. A lot of crazy action sequences where they really up their game. They have a lot of fun with some of the back and forth in this one. But as I mentioned, it's probably most notable because it was Paul Walker's final film, and a lot of people came into it, me included, wondering how are they going to wrap this up? How are they going to make all this work? What is going to happen to his character of Brian? I was really pleased that they decided not to write him off into the grave. That has created challenges for them as they've continued on, especially with Fast X and undoubtedly with Fast X Part 2. But the closing sequence here, the original song, is a really beautiful moment. And for a franchise that is mostly, geared and aimed at action fans and a very heavily male dominated demographic, that was a very dusty room when I went to see this in theaters. And that is one of the moments that still sticks with me and still holds up. This shot you get from Vin Diesel looking at Brian as the song is playing, and then they take diverging paths, was just a beautiful choice and an incredible way to end the movie. And that is one of the reasons I think Furious 7 really remains a standout in a franchise that's had a lot of fun films, but films that maybe blend together for some. This one's always stood out to me because of the significance of the tribute to Paul Walker. So that does it for me this week. I'll be back next week with another film from 2015. Until then, take it easy.